Happy Thursday and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Veganish with your host, Dr. Monique. I am a board certified family physician who you know as the physician in the kitchen. And each week we talk about ways to increase your plant-based diet and news and the nutrition in the news and whatever else you want to talk about. And I do it alongside my trusty sidekick, Mr. Ellis. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm great. I'm excited to be here and really looking forward to this program, especially. So yes, let's have some fun and have a great 30 minutes.
That's right. So we've been doing this now almost a year on October 19th. So next week will be 1 year of me coming and tell you how I help busy households enjoy healthy eating without impacting their hectic schedules. We've had some laugh. I like to call it edutainment because we entertain and we educate at the same time. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of shows. Every show I say is the fastest 30 minutes of my day, right? The faster than my Peloton or anything else. So multiply that over a year's worth of shows. And I can't believe it's been a year. I mean, it really like blink and you missed it.
It did. Would you say it was a year? And then I started when I started looking back at all the shows, and I was like, yeah, it's been a year, and we've had some weeks off here and there, of course,
Right.
for various reasons. But to be dedicated to something like this for a year and the number of shows that we have done, it just shows. I wanted to say thank you for your dedication to this show and to our audience in particular. Thank you on behalf of BDO and on behalf of the audience that watches this program to say you are really dedicated to helping people develop and sustain a plant-based lifestyle to be healthier. And so that's a commitment that we do not take lightly, and we just appreciate you and everything that you do.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that, Ellis. It really is my pleasure, and I enjoy. I mean, we've got some as you said, we wouldn't be here without the audience, and so we've got some faithful folks every week. I like to see who's going to chime in first. Is it our East Coast, our West Coast folks, or is it the dirty South? But this is the part of the show where we invite you to come on in and fellowship with us. Tell us where you are watching us from. Rep your city, your state, your zip code, your area code, your country, your continent, wherever you are watching us from. And because sharing is caring, tap somebody on the shoulder virtually and say, come on here and celebrate. Let's celebrate. I need some music. I should cue up my music. It's a party. We are celebrating. I should have some vegan gluten-free cake ready for tonight. But yeah, so over the year, it's kind of reflecting, when you reach a milestone like this, and yes, a year is a milestone. It's the first of hopefully many. Just kind of thinking back to how we've grown the show. I think our viewers, the ones that tune in and the ones that send their questions or comment, really let me know that we're on the right track and people are really engaged with this content. And it's so funny because I've talked about my journey over the past 2 years toward a more plant-based diet. I hit the half-century mark and wanted to really just start to do better, be better, right? So for the next 50 years. And so this show kind of grew out of my journey, my veganish or plant-based journey. And we've covered a lot. I mean, we've talked about things like types of fat and different types of sugar and eating the rainbow. And I got to go to Miami and do a commercial. I mean, it's just been a lot of stuff. And I'm so thankful for it. I so appreciate you, Ellis, and BDO, and all the folks behind the scenes at BDO who have given me this opportunity. And now, I mean, this is the viewer show. This is the viewer show. This is your show tonight. We want to hear from you. We've got some oldies but goodies, but we want to hear from you. What burning questions do you have? Is there something new you want to cover? Is there something that we've talked about that you want to clarify? Get it in. Now is your time. We are, halfway through October. Can't believe that, right? And so, what's right around the corner is Thanksgiving. So, we can talk about what are we going to do a little different this year, right? Because with all this we're talking about, right? Let's kind of put some of this into action. We've talked about a lot of food over the past year. I mean, a lot of food. So Is there, as you look forward to Thanksgiving, Ellis, because I know you've got something up your sleeve. You're probably gonna have a turducken or something. I don't know. No allergies. But what is you as you start, I would go ahead and start the Thanksgiving conversation. What are you looking forward to? Or like what do you think you might do differently this year after a year of veganish?
Woo, I think what's really important to me this year is trying to. Hey, that's Dr. Erica. So
Dr. Erica? I was with Dr. Erica last week in Atlanta. I'm so sorry, Ellis, didn't mean to cut you off. I love that. Mwah, 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 Dr. Erica. She's one of my fellow medical moguls. We were in Atlanta. We had an awesome time. And thank you so much for watching. But you were saying, Ellis.
no, no. So this year, I think in the past, I never really focused on what was on the plate. It was just pile on, pile on, pile on. So as a result of this show, I'm going to be more focused on really just the vegetables being kind of the biggest part of the plate, how those vegetables are prepared, right? Because I would have that, turkey mound and the ham mound and this gravy slab and all over it. So I'll be kind of focusing on that, the preparation. And then also just really trying to have those conversations and portion sizes, right? So that's a big thing. So I was like, all right, because I know Thanksgiving is a time and it's gluttony and all this other stuff, but really thinking about my portion sizes, thinking about, and then eating that salad that's out there that the moms make and I don't partake of. I'm like, I'll skip salad, eat the salad first to kind of help fill up.
Exactly.
But really just taking a different approach to the meal itself overall. Um, I would say as a result of this show, I'm really more intentional about how I eat my food.
I love that. And so you know what? You make me feel like I've done my job. If just one person looks at their plate and actually, fixes their plate, right? Then shameless plug. But that's what it's all about because it's these gradual baby steps, right? That get you to your next big step. And so yeah, I think I love what you said because it resonates with me because every year it's like, okay, everything looks good, you want to eat it all, but like, how do you do that and still not, have the busting at the seams, buttons and feeling like, oh, the next day. And so one thing that we do, because I have a small family, it's, just it's my mom, my dad, my parents, my boyfriend sometimes is able to come. And so we don't, and my son, and so we don't have a lot. We don't need a lot of food. And so we'll make a lot of little dishes, and
Right.
so we get to sample everything, but it doesn't have to be the excess. So yeah, I think that's right. And then increasing the plants, right? So I love to see like if you're plant, we've talked about the 7 or 9 inch plant plate,
Yeah.
7 or 9 inch plate, and how like half of it should be like your vegetables and your fruits and vegetables. A fourth of it can be like your starchy carbs, and then your another fourth would be your protein. And so you can start to maybe play in your plate like that, so that if you still want to do the meat, but you're doing a quarter versus mountains of
Yeah,
it.
and that's a challenge. That's a challenge that's presented by Thanksgiving because we know there's a whole bunch of starches. There's the macaroni and cheese, there's the rice and
Sweet
gravy, there's the
potatoes.
candied yams. I mean, so there's so many different starches that, and then there are vegetables, of course, but it's just really there's a lot of starches, a lot of meats, and so we have to be really, really careful about those choices. And I think we've done a good job on this program really engaging our audience and showing them different ways. And we need to kind of maybe revisit that, but showing them different ways to prepare familiar meals in a way that's going to be healthier
Yeah.
for them going forward.
Yeah, and I think, I think just having options and having variety, because I think one thing that people kind of maybe check out with both their eating and their exercise, so those two things kind of go hand in
Yes.
hand, is they get bored or they feel like, I don't know what else to do, so I'm just not going to do anything. And so the challenge that I extend is find a way to keep it exciting, or different. Maybe vegetables don't make you excited, but at least where you're engaged. How about we say engaged? Because you never know. Like your next favorite thing could literally be like one plate away. I like that. So your next favorite thing could be one plate away. So, go to the grocery store, try that weird looking fruit, right? Try a vegetable that you've never had before and Google it. What do I do with this? How do I cook this? Or take something, if you like broccoli every day and every night, then find a different way, to cook the broccoli or do something to spice it up so that you're still getting, so that you don't get burnt out, and kind of same thing when we tell people about exercise. Change it up, find something that is safe for you to do, that's something that you can achieve, but that your body doesn't get used to the same thing. And you're constantly, kind of challenging and showing your body different things to keep it efficient and fat burning. So we've got Malaya Jones Thomas, and she's tagged a friend. I love it. Malaya, where are you watching us from today? I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, please let me know. But thank you so much for tagging.
I think that was a great tip, though. I think that was a fantastic tip in terms of finding a way to keep it exciting.
Yeah.
Just because, really, I think for me, I'll speak for myself and maybe for others in this space, is that I think sometimes you get on that path of plant-based diet and you don't know what to do, and you get bored doing the same things, the few things that you do know, you get bored with that, and then you go back to your old diet. And so then you have that yo-yoing effect. Oh, I got to eat more. But I think if you are adventurous, if you are really, I mean, you don't have to go to the deep end and start eating dragon fruit and all kind of other stuff. But if you are really just taking that one step, okay, if you got green peppers, then maybe add a red, a yellow, and orange, to that green pepper. Or if you say, okay, I was and if you have children, that's a great thing because children are a little bit more adventurous. I took my son to the grocery store and we were in the produce section, and he was
Okay.
asking me about what different produce were. What's that? Or what's Swiss chard? Oh, okay. There's red. Oh, yeah, there's green and there's red Swiss chard.
Rainbow. Yep.
And then I started pointing out the different types of vegetables. What's that? Oh, that's bok choy. Or this is that. And so we really had a great conversation. And then you take that home, and then I had him help me prepare. Oh, hey, you know how to cut the peppers? You cut the peppers. I'll
That's
do this.
great.
And so those kind of things can keep it exciting and can make food fun to where you can engage with it in a healthier way.
Exactly. And then, of course, if you just need some new and fresh and exciting recipes, you got to pick up my book, Doc Fix My Plate, right? I've got over 50 vegan recipes in there, as well as some other tips and tricks and things on how to veganize or plant-based your kitchen. So pick up your copy at docfixmyplatebook.com. Leonard Gresham Sr. is watching. Hello, sir. He is watching from Greensboro, North Carolina. I have a special connection with Greensboro. My son Mitchell is a freshman, Aggie Pride at A&T. So he was just home. He just went back to school on Tuesday. He had the train experience from hell, y'all. The train was supposed to be here at 7 to pick him up. It didn't get in until almost 10 o'clock. And then there was a delay on the way back. So he was like, never again.
Like a train?
The train, Amtrak,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Shenanigans, Tuesday night. I don't know what was going on. He didn't get back to the room till about his dorm till just after midnight or so. It was yeah. But so yes, A&T, and then of course homecoming is coming up. So I think I'm gonna try to make my way up there in a couple of weeks and see what's going on.
It's a
So
fantastic campus. It's a fantastic.
it's
I've
a
been
beautiful
a couple
campus.
times.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
beautiful campus.
fantastic.
He's settling in well. I'm really happy for him. I think he's made a great choice. So if you're just watching, it says Mr. Gresham is just joining us. We're on here. This is our 1 year anniversary. I'm Dr. Monique. I'm your board certified family physician, founder of Physician in the Kitchen, and I've been helping busy households enjoy healthy eating without impacting their hectic schedules. And here on Veganish, I've been bringing you along on my journey toward a more plant-based diet. So believe it or not, I've been doing that for almost a year. Next week will be a year. So this is our woo, this is our celebration show. And it's the viewer's choice. So we're here, whatever questions you have. And I think Ellis, you have some of our hits from the past.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so let's see. Let's get into it. Thank you so much, Oya. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It really has flown by. She said, congratulations.
Remember this? Remember this show?
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Apples and pears. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah, that was just talking about, as we talk about Thanksgiving, right? That was the one where we talked about different types of fat and more importantly, kind of where it's located, right? The fact that we are concerned about as doctors is that the visceral fat. So the fat that's wrapped around and encasing your internal organs, your heart, your abdominal organs, your liver, your intestines,
Mhm.
because it makes the heart actually have to work harder to get blood to those organs, and that's where we see the increase in things like high diabetes and high cholesterol, heart disease, all the things that we are trying to prevent. And so the apple versus pear is kind of where people tend to carry their fat, and the pear shape um, is a little bit better because it tends to be more around the hips versus the apple where they have the fat more centrally, and that's the one with the higher risk for heart disease. So yes, we talked about where you carry your fat is what, and the less important is the cellulite. That's more of a cosmetic, where women, we complain about our thighs and
Right.
back of our arms maybe, but that's not really a harmful form of fat. But the visceral fat, if you remember nothing else, is that visceral fat where we want you to really be aware of, because when you, as we measure, an indirect way to measure that is your waist circumference.
Yeah.
And if it's over 35 for men or 40 for women, I said that backwards, then it's, you put you at higher risk for having problems. So you want
Right.
to watch out for that. Wow, that was a blast from the past.
Oh yeah. Well, oh wow, that was a picture. Yeah. See, that's the
There's
cellulite.
the cellulite,
Yeah,
yes, the
oh yeah.
dreaded cellulite. Nobody
And
likes it.
that's yeah. Because I always think about that, like that visceral subcutaneous fat, because and and everybody, it's a gradual thing, right? It's not
Right.
something like I even had to realize myself, just with the schedule that I have, and it was like I started gaining weight and didn't realize it until I was like, man, I just was feeling bloated, right? I noticed my midsection and started getting a little too pudgy, a little too hard to control.
Mhm.
And then I jumped on the scale and realized, oh, I put on some pounds. And so like then I was like, all right, I got to be intentional. So more intentional about that, because my eating patterns weren't right. I wasn't snacking properly. And then I would get to the end of the day and I was so ravenously hungry that I start overeating
Mhm.
and start overeating bad things, and you start putting
Right.
sugar and alcohol on top of that, it becomes really, really
This
problematic.
perfect storm.
Right.
So Shanae says she's watching from Fontana, California. I hit 52 this year. Hey, 1970 in the house. Since I plan meals, I have started with plant-based meals 2 days a week. My son and husband have been very receptive. Need more ideas. Great info so far. Well, congratulations to you. I
Right.
am the fact that you're doing twice a week. Good for you. I mean, that you got to start somewhere. And what's awesome is that your family is on board. That's huge, because whenever you're trying to make a significant change, whether it's exercising or stopping smoking or whatever it is that you're trying to break out of a mold or a habit, um, that can be, having the family support can be
Hmm.
can be it's phenomenal. So kudos to you. I told my son, I said, I apologize to him. I said, if I knew then what I know now, as far as when he was younger and food choices, so you would have never eaten meat. And so, but you start where you are. You start where you
Right.
are, and then you go from there. So good for you. So Shanae says she needs more ideas. So far, what's been your favorite? I'm gonna put you on the spot, Shanae. What's been your favorite? Ellis had up on the screen Meatless Monday. What has been so far your favorite or your go-to meat replacement those 2 days a week that you are plant-based, if you don't mind sharing with us? My One of my new favorites is seitan, and it's wheat meat, and you can buy it in the store, but you can also make it at home, which of course is the best, right? Because you can control what's in it. Because even though it may be plant based, doesn't mean that what you get from
Ooh,
the store doesn't have additives and preservatives. So you want to be mindful of that. So let's see. We have someone saying she had surgery 17 months ago, losing over 178 pounds. Wow, at 51. Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
yes.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
Good
gonna, I'm
for
gonna give you a round of applause.
you.
Congratulations.
Definitely. Definitely.
Keep up the great work.
Yes, 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 yes. That is no small feat. And
No.
so hopefully you are um, plugged in with
I am tired of beans. Need more ideas.
with your whole team and getting staying where you need to be. I'm tired of beans. Need more. There's so much more than beans. There are, oh my gosh, like I said, seitan. And if you're talking about, I guess if you're talking about sources of protein, maybe there's seitan, there's tofu, there's tempeh, there's mushrooms, lentils. Don't forget about lentils. Sometimes people lump them in, but lentils actually,
Yeah.
I think are, definitely are distinctive, have bear distinction from beans. And you can do so much with lentils. You can make burgers, you can make patties, you can make stews and soups with them, and they
Mhm.
are economical and they are very filling and they are very high in protein, very high, they're a good source of iron. So all types of minerals, vitamins, some carbs. So definitely encourage you to expand past beans because there's a lot more out there. I actually I'm making a recipe now, zucchini mushroom alfredo. So basically, taking a spiralizer, and you can get them in the store. They're not expensive, and zucchini are soft enough that you can do it by hand. And you basically spiralize or make, you know, um, pasta noodles, quote unquote, from the zucchini. You can buy them in the store already done too. And then you just blanch them like you would, in a pot of boiling water for a couple of minutes, not even, and then shock them in some cold water and toss them with your sauce. I'm going to make a plant-based Alfredo. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. So someone said the burgers are delicious. Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot. So please get out of the bean rut. I
Ooh,
want you to get out of the bean rut. Jackfruit. I was hoping you were gonna say jackfruit. Jackfruit has been a go-to. I didn't want to say it because I was like, if I say jackfruit one more time. But yes, jackfruit has been a go-to for tacos. Does salmon count? We eat a lot of salmon. So of course, salmon is a fish, so that's not going to be plant-based. So that would be on your other 5 days, right? But another recipe, another idea for you for that jackfruit, I add some hearts of palm in there. The hearts of palm you find it in a can and they're brine to rinse them off to get the salt off. And I pulse them, process them in my food processor along with the can of jackfruit, and make some faux fish cakes or fish patties with them. Delicious. Season with a little bit of kelp to get that seaweed taste, that taste of the sea. Serve it with some vegan tartar sauce. Good eating. So jackfruit. It's jackfruit. Hoya. She said jackfruit. It's yes, heart of palm does make a great pasta alternative. I've had it, and you're absolutely right. I can't see your name; it just comes up as Facebook user, but you're absolutely right. Yes, Shanae, it is yummy, and it's gonna be in the next version of my cookbook. But if you guys are not on my email list, you need to get on my email list because I have the recipes in the book, but also when I release new ones, if I'm just in the kitchen, my lab, and I'll make up something, you got to get on the email list so that you're in the know. So if you want to get on my email list, go to cookingwithdrmonique.com. That's my website that he just put up on my actual email list so that you kind of know what's going on with me day to day, or I don't send you too many emails, but just to kind of keep you in the loop. It's cookingwithdrmonique.com, and I love to share recipes on there. And yeah, so that way you don't have to feel like you're stuck in the bean rut or want some more ideas on what to do with your jackfruit. So what other way? I think we've got time for one more
I
blast
do
from the
like the
cup.
salmon though. So Shanae, rock with your salmon. It's got great omega-3 fatty acids. I'm a fat, like the what's it? It's a fatty. Is it? It's not an acid.
Omega-3.
Omega-3. Like
Omega-3.
it's great. It's great for you. So if you want to eat meat, stay with those lean meats. The salmon's really
If
good.
you if you're gonna do the salmon, it's recommended to do the fresh or the wild caught
Yes.
versus the farm raised.
Right.
Um, the idea being that the farm raised may be grown using antibiotics and growth hormones or
Mhm.
hormones,
No
things like
pasture.
that. Where more additives in the salmon versus the wild caught. So that's the idea. So Hoya said, what's the email? So yes, cookingwithdrmonique.com is the email to get on my email list. So what do you have? I'm scared, Ellis. So what are you gonna take us out with?
Well, this was a good one. This was a great show. I think this one was something that we did really, and it's appropriate now, right? As we're moving into fall, we're moving into the colder months of the year. what are those seasonal fruits and vegetables? Because when we eat seasonally, and one of the things we pointed out on this particular show is when we eat seasonal fruits and vegetables, one, the cost comes down, right? Because there's more of them. When we start buying fruits and vegetables that are out of season, we are going to pay more for them because they have to hold them. I don't know what they do to have them available for you out of season, but you're going to end up paying more. So if you eat with the seasons, you'll keep your costs down, and you can still continue. And your body, it will give you the variety that you're looking for
Yeah.
because you're going to be switching up your fruits and vegetables as you eat seasonally. So this was a great program that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was good. And the other thing too, and great points that you raised, the other thing about eating fruits and vegetables in season is they just taste better. They're cheaper, but they actually taste better because it's the distance of the time from when they were grown and picked to when they get to your plate is, shorter. And it's you just taste that difference. We're in fall going into winter. This is the time of year to get those squashes, right? Those butternut squash, the acorn squash. I've made for breakfast just a couple of days ago. I cut an acorn squash in half, roasted it, basted it with some maple syrup and some plant butter, a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg, and just ate that for my breakfast. It was like a bowl of antioxidants. It was amazing because the yellow, the orange from the acorn squash, we've talked about beta carotene is the plant chemical that gives it the orange, helps your eyes, helps your skin, helps your immune system. So yes, and then you can also stuff it, like you can cook it and eat it just like that, or you could actually also put avocado or quinoa or whatever you want to put in there. So yes, these are some of the. Is this from the Eat the Rainbow?
No, this is from our seasonal eating. So this
is season eating. Okay, yep.
This is back in March. So this is what was hot back
These
then.
are what was season then. Yep.
I put the link to the website, Seasonal Food Guide that you had on here.org, all in the comments. So if you want to find out what's hot right now, what's seasonal right now, go to that website and you can see. Yep. And then when you go to your store, you'll see your local store, especially if you got a farmer's market.
I was just about to say, if you've got a farmer's market. Yep. So Tiff says she's going to slowly transition and substitute meat out for these plant-based options. Yeah, have fun with it. Have fun. We do a meatless Monday, a taco Tuesday, but the taco could be made out of tofu or seitan or tempeh or mushrooms, right? Have fun with it. A vegan or plant-based pizza, oh my goodness. I mean, you won't even miss the meat. So, try the vegetables in different ways, stir fry, right? Or I'm working on some, and I'm telling you all about all this food. I'm getting hungry, but I made some cauliflower rice and then made basically a mushroom risotto with it. And it was good. It was good. So there's so many different ways you can, just a cauliflower alone, right? You can steam it. You can stir fry it. You can
cauliflower rice is a great rice substitute.
You can rice it. You can boil it and puree it and make mash, like instead of mashed potatoes. Have it. I mean, so there are so many things you could do. Add some turmeric to it and make it turn yellow. I mean, the possibilities are really limitless. It's really just your imagination. So, but yeah, Tiff, I'm so glad. I'm glad this is good information for you. Charlotte Clark says she loves vegetables. Yes, please. Vegetables do a body good. They do a body good. So, and yes, farmers market. And then there's also in some communities, they're called CSAs, community sourced agriculture. I think I'm butchering it, but basically you can buy in to it and you'll get it's basically like Instacart. You can get or go pick up every week. You can get a fresh bundle or basket of whatever the farmer has produced. You could order if you want your tomatoes or cucumbers or what have you. So some communities have those. So that's a little, can be a little pricier than a farmer's market, but if you spread it out kind of over the season, it actually could be economical as well.
We got a good question here.
Yeah, does going vegan help to burn visceral fat as an apple shape dealing with stress and bad eating? That is a great question. So yes, being plant-based, and this is all, I'm going to try to answer this super quickly, but being plant-based, oh, it certainly helps your metabolism, because you are getting when you're plant-based, you're getting whole foods. And so your body has to actually work to break down the food versus when you're eating processed foods. There's really not much for your body to do. And so a lot of those simple sugars, those simple calories just get stored and packed on. So when you're eating a plant-based or a whole food diet, yes, your body has to work to extract the energy from those nutrients, and it can help to stabilize blood sugars. It can help to decrease cravings, and when you're snacking, cut down on snacking, because when you're eating more complex foods, your body has to work, and you're not getting these peaks of sugar or energy. You're getting slow, steady releases. So it definitely can help, along with your portion control, size control, and some form of exercise, which helps with what? Guess what? Stress and sleep, right? So it all kind of ties in together. But certainly speak with your physician. Make sure that you're fit for exercise, and that what you're doing is good for you and your personal health condition. But great question.
Just one thing I'm going to add: be prepared for the change in your body and how you feel. So, and some of that change is like, you might feel an initial drop in energy because you're used to getting those sugar rushes throughout the day. So there might be an initial drop,
Mhm.
but over time, your energy level will be more sustainable over the full day versus those peaks and valleys that we have when we're eating a lot of processed and sugary foods. But I'm just trying to forewarn you to say, when you start switching to that more plant-based diet, you're gonna be like, oh man, I don't feel my energy level is low, because your body's adjusting. So give yourself some grace and let your body adjust to the new diet. But over time, you will feel much, much better, cleaner, healthier, lighter, and better to attack your day.
So I've just got to jump in here though, because that what Ellen said, and remember, everything is individualized. You may notice a change, but I think for the most part, the people I talked to, and me personally, it was actually a positive
Oh, it's a
experience.
net positive.
Over. Yeah. But I just didn't want him or her leaving thinking, oh, when I switch over, I'm gonna feel sluggish. And
Oh,
I
no, no, no,
mean,
no.
we've talked about some of that with some of the fasting types of fasting that people do. But no, just definitely, start slow, start low, go slow, and enjoy the process. So
Oh, but a lot of it is determined by how much sugar and processed food are in your diet.
you're
The
eating,
more
yeah.
sugar and processed food you have in your diet, the bigger the change. If you don't have a lot, if you're just going to change, you won't notice any different at all. So I do have to put that caveat on.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. This is so good. It's changing the mindset on how we're supposed to eat. Yes, and Tiff, you hit the nail on the head. Mindset is bay, right? Is
Yeah.
bay, and so mindset is bay, because everything starts up here. Your brain's at the top of your body for a reason, and so that, oh my God, that's a whole nother show by itself. But yeah, like he said, give yourself grace, but set small intentions, small goals, so that you are more likely to be successful, and then you can capitalize on that and take that with you to the next one. But having that positive mindset is so important, so very important. So
Yeah.
folks, that's our show for the night. I mean, fast as 30 minutes. Thank you so much for letting me come into your home most Thursday nights for the past year, and for listening to what I have to say. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to tell your friends. We want to grow this. We want to continue to bring you information that is helpful for you and helps you reach your plant-based dietary goals, and just live the best life you can. So until next time, Dr. Monique, Eat the Rainbow. Check me out on all social media, Physician in the Kitchen, my book, docfixmyplatebook.com. And if you want to hang out with me on email, go to cookingwithdrmonique.com. Until next week, bye.
Wow. The Cowboys are coming. We will see y'all next week. It'll be 8 o'clock. We'll see y'all next week.